So my camera decided to take the jump, take a leap of faith, let's say. Because the way I do it here is I kind of have it plugged on my on the glass of my car here, and so it's kind of just I don't know how to explain, just very high, and so it can drop. But until now I was kind of thinking that maybe the system is going to hold it well enough for it to not drop. So far so good, it did not actually drop, but I kind of messed up the fixation, and so just before I started recording, it just dropped. So that was kind of scary because my camera kind of dropped about, I don't know, it's what, 50 centimeters, 60 centimeters? Anyway, expensive cameras that drop 50 centimeters is not something that it's not a stress-free experience, let's say, but it seems to be okay. So, good enough. Anyway, so today, as you can see, this is going to be back to an evening session because my day was kind of a little busy, and so I had to be a little more creative with my schedule. Since I was kind of trying to do things a little earlier, since I found that actually training late kind of disrupt a little bit my sleep. It's much, I don't have the time to kind of cool down, and then my sleep is kind of a little bit fucked up. But here is the deal, and I may have to sacrifice my sleep just a little. I'm kind of scared it's fall again. Because, well, as I told you, I have a lot of things to work with in my business, and so by putting the training more in the middle of my day, it's kind of getting a little bit stressful because I kind of try to do a lot of things that as much as I possibly can before training. So I have to stress myself a little to do that. And then when I come back from training, first of all, I'm tired because of training. Of course, that's normal. And so then it's much more difficult for me to actually motivate myself or get myself focused in order to do the things. And so the way I'm generally doing things, because I'm not very historically speaking, I don't really work on motivation. I kind of, if I want to do something, I just do it. But there is some unattended consequences of that. The main one being, if you don't feel like doing something, if you're kind of tired and your body is saying, yeah, I would rather chill than actually work, the only way you can actually get it done is actually by putting you under stress, by taking action despite of the feelings that you are currently experiencing. And so that's fine. Sometimes it's just good to do that, but what I found is this is not sustainable over the long run. This kind of gets you in the state of burnout. And so here I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place. I don't know if that's the expression in English, but anyway, where, okay, if I do it on the evening, I'm going to disrupt my sleep and get tired over time, and I'm going to have to kind of get back to it. And on the other hand, if I'm doing the training during the afternoon, then it's going to be much harder to actually work. Where at the moment, work is the most important thing that I need to do. I need to get my business off the ground and start making money to sustain my training and so on. So, yeah, because the issue is also because working when I'm tired, all of the things that I need to do for work need a high level of mental clarity and intensity, and doing that after training is not very efficient. Where if I just chill and say to myself, okay, you know what, I'm just going to train on the evening after 8 p.m. and so on, just do the work first and then focus on training after dinner, and once everything is once you have accomplished everything that you wanted to accomplish, it's much easier to get a lot of things done that way for the thing that is the most important for me, which is business at the moment. So yeah, I don't like this idea, but I might have to sacrifice quality of sleep to be able to get more things done. So the way maybe I will do it, maybe I will try to incorporate nap in my schedule, maybe something like that, to kind of compensate the inefficient sleep. I don't know. I need to figure out, but yeah, for me it seems that this is the only way I can make it work, given all the amount of work that I need to do at the moment. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's not the point. The point here is we are going to on the practice range, not in the gym. Actually, I could have done the gym because last week I did on Tuesday. I did the gym. You're seeing this on Wednesday, but I am recording this on a Tuesday. Yeah, because actually I've since during my holiday I didn't put content, and that was intentional because I found that the delay between the content and for instance when you are commenting and so on things, it kind of make it annoying because you don't know where I'm at 1 week away from and since things are evolving pretty fast, that's something anyway, I think it's better that I just do videos and then on the very next day make the edit, upload it, and I'm done. So today because I wanted to do practice range because also kind of the session I did of the deadlift kind of really tired me a lot, and I'm not completely recovered, I believe. But that's not because of that, it's because I've kind of understood a few things here and I really want to test, but also I'm going to explain to you why that might not be a good idea. That's a good idea to test the things that I've understood, but moving forward, I need to test less things. Here, this mesocycle and moreover the speed journey that we are going to get on, that I have explained with the mesocycle and so on, it's going to be much more about the consistency. And so I need to stabilize my swing. And for me, when I look at the camera, I only see the issue and I'm making changes. And so for me to be able to stabilize, I need to stop looking at the camera and start focusing on deeper on the way I feel about the swing, and that alone is already enough feedback. And because even when I focus only on my feeling, I'm still making a lot of changes just because I have so much feedback in terms of body awareness. And so if on top of that I add the camera, it's like a never-ending spiral where I'm constantly changing. But the deal is, during the first 2 cycles where we were actually working on a lot of technique and I wanted to change a lot of things very fast, I actually put on the camera, and that was a good thing. That was definitely really good. But here, I'm kind of want to transition toward the speed journey, where this idea of stabilization is, okay, I'm fine-tuning the little details that are still left to be done, but I need to kind of start moving away from the camera and start focusing more and more on my feeling, on how I transfer the energy and so on. And so what I'm start thinking is maybe what I'm going to do here is maybe having the camera at the very beginning of the session, then having it maybe at the very last, for instance, the first 30 balls and the last 30 balls, and then in between just focusing on repeating the same thing over and over, just trying to get more consistent with the same motion, and so on. I think that's very important, and progressively as we get towards the end of this mesocycle and we especially when we are going to start the next macro cycle, the idea is going to be, okay, let's move completely away from the camera, and the only thing that I will have for me to get feedback is going to be the comparison swing with Rory that I'm putting at the beginning of the video. I think during the session I need to kind of step away a little to start consolidating things, because a very important thing when it comes to speed training is stability of your motion, so your nervous system can become more and more efficient with the same motion, and so you can fire faster. That's something very important. So yeah, but as I said, all of that is just aligned with what my goal were for this mesocycle which is about stabilization. So that's mainly what we are going to work on. Also, that was kind of the general aspect of the session here. Then in more detail, what I found in last session is I am getting across the line with every single one of my club. So something that I've explained to you in the past is I tend to kind of get across with the line at the top of my swing in the past with my shorter club, and then as I getting longer and longer club, I start getting flat, especially with the driver. Here, even with the driver, I was still across the line. So it seems that issue, at least at the moment, we will see if when I change things, if I start making some issue with the driver. But at the moment, it seems that all clubs are acting in terms of dynamic roughly the same way. That might be because I'm putting more and more torque in the swing, applying more and more force to the shaft, and so by doing so, I'm actually limiting the difference between clubs in terms of how they change by doing the same swing. What I mean by that is, if I do the same swing with a wedge or with my driver, the difference in terms of club dynamic is within that same swing are going to be less and less important as I am able to put more and more force into the shaft, into the club. And so if that's the case, it means that I can start working on, okay, with my 8, 6 iron and 5 wood that I'm using at the beginning of the session each time, start really making sure that I'm on the right plane with them, with a specific motion, and try to carry that away with the driver and try to be, okay, even with the driver, I'm also on the right plane, so everything is good. Then, so that's the overall picture. So how I do that, I think there is kind of a shift at the transition where when you engage the hips, it's kind of get the club from vertical to flat a little. And so if you start engaging the hip just when you start the transition, instead of having the club continuing and getting across the line during the transition, the club is actually going to get flatter and flatter. But since the natural dynamic is to get across the line, it's actually going to compensate and just get it right on plane. And so there is just the overall dynamic is that, but the way I'm going to actually do it is mainly trying to externally rotate my right forearm here to put the club on plane. But I'm going to show you that in detail. So that's kind of the I just realized that my big light are kind of activated. Anyway, this is automated, so it just if there is no one, bam, it just flashed it. Anyway, so that's kind of on the backswing, but then it made me realize, because doing that changed completely the dynamic of the transition and beginning of the downswing that I was doing in last session. But I don't know how I came up with that. But also that was linked to what I wanted to do with the ground force, actually pushing forward with both feet instead of having the right feet pushing backward. That's very, here I think I'm starting to get into very details that are very difficult to explain without clubs. So let's get to it, and I will explain that in detail just after. So the thing I want to explain, let's come back from the beginning with the backswing. So backswing, the idea is get vertical, and then if you, well, I was doing pretty much nothing, but here if you kind of engage the lower body, the club is going to create a braking force with the backswing, which is going to get the club a little flatter. But since I'm getting across the line, what I'm thinking is only going to get it roughly on plane. So engage the lower body with the things that we've talked about earlier in few last session, internally rotating the right leg and the left leg, and externally rotating the right leg. kind of get into that position that we have. And also I kind of need to kind of feel that my right arm is kind of externally rotating to kind of put the club on the right. So that's kind of the first thing. But then the other part is that I want to, once I'm here engaged, I'm wide. And one of the things that I've been struggling is kind of getting too narrow too quickly. And so what I'm thinking is when I bump both here forward, kind of try to keep that weight here and build the leg and get the arm to come down. So I don't know, it's just an intuition that I have. It's very difficult to explain why, but it's almost like, okay, instead of kind of starting rotating and kind of rotating too quickly, here I bump both here forward and start with the lower body, I start engaging, but in terms of upper body, it's almost like I'm rotating that way as I kind of let the arm drop and build the leg. The only thing that I don't really like here is still that it make me use a little bit more my upper body. I don't know. But what I think is going to allow me is kind of allow the arm to drop without engaging too much my everything, kind of being a little bit, giving a tempo to allow the club to fall down before I can then actually rotate and explode here. I don't know, just an intuition that I want to try. Also, a few things here. I have about 200 balls. I'm not sure it's going to eat everything, but definitely I'm going to just move and we'll see. Also, I think the idea of going on the evening, I haven't been doing it for a while now, and the true deep feeling that I have when I come here at that time, there is no one around. I just feel peace and a lot of focus. So that even I just need to find a way to make it work with sleep. But yeah, that definitely is the way to go for me. It's just that, and during the first cycle, I was kind of doing every single day, and so it was kind of lonely and so on. But in terms of focus for quality work, I think those evening sessions where there is no one around is like unbeatable. Anyway, so we are going to start with that. And also I've put the microphone, as you see, I don't have it right here, it's just the microphone of the camera. Since, the microphone here, when I'm training and so on, and because it's cold, can hear my mouth, my nose sound, and even when I drink or eat something, you hear that. I think that's not a very good experience for you. So I decided to put the microphone just on the camera, and I believe there is not a lot of noise here. It's more than enough, I think, for you to just hear what I'm saying. I don't really need the microphone up there. I think that's fine. That's fine. Anyway, let's get to it. My iPhone don't have a lot of power, so that's a bad thing, but that's kind of a good thing because of the thing that I've told you in the car, where I wanted to film myself less. So what I'm going to do is just eat a few balls to warm up, and as I'm warming up, I'm going to put on the camera just to check the backswing position, and then before the first 30 ball, put right face on to just check the feeling I have as I was testing. Then I will move on to the rest of the session without the camera on, so that's going to be mainly almost kind of ASMR type of training. And at the end, for the last 30 ball, I will put back on the camera and we'll see. But the way I structure the session here is the same as I told you before. It's like if I do, for instance, if I do the 200 balls, it's 100 to 120 ball of warm up. But we have the first 30 ball, which is actual warm up, and then the 90 balls that are left for the warm up are actually speed warm up. So it's just pure drive, 100 drive in a row, just to get loose and get all the muscle fiber activated before I move on to the speed stick and the part which is actual speed. But although I'm not necessarily working on speed, the part where the speed is going to be, remember yesterday, this week the goal for the speed part is 111. So I need to get all my swing 111 or above. So that's kind of what we are going to look at after. So let's get to it and try to get started. okay. Definitely felt so. I think I need to do first the position at the top before I can actually do the downswing the way I wanted to do. Yeah, because when I do that, then I'm kind of in a position where I don't know how to come back from. So. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, I think it's a really good idea. Let's put the camera on, but this idea of starting the downswing while having my shoulder rotated in the other direction. I mean, that was a good idea before as well. It's just that until now I wasn't having like good feeling out of it. A feeling that I can actually pull off. So where is the TrackMan? I'm putting on the camera here. I hope you can hear me. So I didn't tell you, but today was kind of a busy day. I had somewhere around. I had to go to Paris. And yeah, so it's not really close to where I live. It's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours of driving. Not that far, but so that's kind of a 5 hour of driving for today. So that's still a lot, really. Okay, so and the speed are kind of interesting here. What I like, something I like here. I kind of hear the cat somewhere. Maybe I'm crazy. You remember that cat that was going here? Okay, the camera is perfectly placed, so that's good. Okay, club somewhat good position at the top. That's mainly what I'm looking for at the moment, having good club position at the top. And more importantly, that translate across clubs. Okay, I'm getting a little long here, so when I set the club, kind of need also to stay wide as I'm getting the club flat here. Yeah. Kind of the issue, because here I'm trying to set the club faster, but when I do that, I create less width and less torque. So that's something I need to figure out. So I'm not sure the posture is really great here. last one I'm going to focus, because here I was focusing really exclusively on the backswing. I'm going to try to focus a little more on the downswing. The only thing I don't like is I see that my arm getting really high. I don't know why. Okay, one last, and I'll move on to the 6 iron. Since my FM don't have a lot of power, we need to move quickly here. Okay, moving on. 6 iron. Yes. It's like as I'm setting the club, I'm not rotating enough. So. Yeah, I need to create a lot of width when I shift the weight. Nice sound on this one. I don't know if the club face is too short when I come up. No, doesn't even seems. That seems good. Just my hand, or maybe. A little high. My hand are really high. And if I have this, if I have my hand that are that high with my iron, with my driver, I would be a thrill. Yeah, it's probably because we're. don't know, there is something weird happening here. But I kind of feel great today. It's really interesting. Maybe the weekend was a good rest. Still across the line. I'm really curious to see how is that going to play out with my face is kind of too close at the top. Maybe I need to open it here in the backswing. It just feels weird to have the club face open. Actually, the top of the backswing and the beginning of the downswing that I was thinking kind of merged into one, if I can say so. Almost doing. I think I need to kind of get the Tony Finau feeling. Yeah, much better. Yeah, I think that's enough for the 6 iron because otherwise I'm going to keep hitting. Does the backswing? Does there is an issue with the width here? I don't feel the width and I don't like it. So maybe to have to. That's kind of the issue. Or maybe this is not the issue. Maybe this is the solution. Because when I create width here, I'm not able to set the club fast enough. Maybe this is the issue. Maybe I'm not creating enough width. Because if you create enough width and you kind of pull the club here. Okay, let's try that. So here I load. I don't try to activate. I can kind of create that width here, and then kind of getting the club down. Yeah, I think I need to not focus on the swing plane. For now, just the sensation of width. Because we were getting some nice stuff here. Nah. Or maybe width, and then when I transfer, it actually gets flat. Because there is a sequence of movement that is quite complex to execute. when I do it well, kind of start generating a little bit of power. So basically I wheel, then shift and flat the club, then can bump both heel and kind of try to drop the club in front and kind of go and ahead and accelerate through like this. Just that there's a lot of things going on in the downswing here. But if I kind of do a lot of this fast, should generate quite a lot of power. Yeah, I'm still because attendez. I'm creating so much lag that I'm not even able to hit the ball. Just ready to rotate, kinda. That's interesting. Let's move to the driver. That's going to be the 10th ball with a way too across the line. Okay, we are with the driver. It's like a few balls before my iPhone ran out of power. And then I also, with my road trip to Paris, I've been to my club maker and he changed my grip. So now I have nice, brand new grips. That's it's going to be fun, surprising. And I'm going also to check a few here from down the line, but then we are going to move from face on because there is a lot of things from face on that I want to see. Okay, club is in the right spot, so that's fine. Yeah, I think I got something interesting here. It's just that since I'm not used to do it, it's like I don't even know how to generate power from there. But I think I'm arriving with a lot of lag. I'm not sure. That's why I want to see from face and how that look. Wow. It's kind of very interesting. I probably arrive with an insane amount of lag here. It's just that I'm not releasing it. Or something like that. I don't know. And let's see if I do more vertical here. Yeah, it doesn't work. Something weird. I want to see face on. Let's the face on. There's the face on view. More height. Yeah, should be fine. Yeah, my iPhone is dying. 10% only. Might not even make it to the end of the session. We'll see. Okay. So. Okay, 111 already. It's not flat. Okay, so maybe I need to kind of activate my lower body a little more. Camera is not right here. Should be fine here. One 12. Yeah, it felt faster. Okay, we are already at 113. You know, there is something I think never thought about, speak about with you. Is sometimes when you really feel tired, it's actually because your body is fully recovered. So much so that you just you don't have any tension left. So maybe that's something that I felt here today. Is I was feeling, and yesterday I was feeling very tired. And maybe it's because my body was starting to actually be completely fully recovered. Oh, that was slower. Let's not be carried away. Let's look at the swing just before. So the thing that I like here is my hands are very high. I'm kind of creating a lot of lag. Just that, yeah, the legs are not working properly. So. Okay, weird. Maybe I should not get the arm to draw because here I'm kind of dropping things. Yeah. Let's try to just use the lower body on the way down. Keep the arm up there. Oh yeah. No, that's not even speed. Whoa! 13.3. I mean, in terms of 173 ball speed. I mean, that's faster than I. Whoa! Just for the test? I know I tend to be carried away a little too much when I start getting speed, but I want to see if I can reach 115. Okay, a little slower. Yeah, I think the sequence matters so much that at the moment, if I get anything wrong, I get very low speed. Low, I mean, that's still 12.8. That's not that low. So let's do a whole sequence here. Oh yes, because I forgot. I kind of need to use more lower body. Oh, 173 again. Wow. I haven't really forced it. But it's kind of the ballistic. I'm not sure exactly where I hit it on the face, but that's definitely not the center. Okay, I need to use a lot more my lower body to be able to hit it far. Okay, yeah, everything matters. So at the moment, the issue is not my energy. It's the fact that I'm not able to get things right, get the sequence right. When I get it right, I'm able to touch on 114. So. That's fine. We have a whole year to get that right, but okay, it's a little slower, but I was kind of testing something interesting. No feeling. Anyway, because that's still kind of the issue here. So, you know what? I'm going to leave it there for the camera because otherwise it's going to die and we're not going to have footage at the end of the session. Yeah, actually the camera, my iPhone is already died. 2%, so that was kind of about to die anyway. So what I'm going to do here, I don't know because the goal is still to reduce fatigue. I know I took in all those balls, but maybe I'll go. I just need to keep going. Let's just keep going, and we'll see where that leaves us. I will stop when I kind of get bored of it. As I said, goal is, and you see that today, actually, that's not even the speed session, and I'm at 11.5 average for the session. So the goal of 111 for the average, I mean, I matched it. Matched it. And that's not even the speed one. Here I'm still testing stuff. So. Yeah, something yet to be found. It's like here I'm able to create the lag but not to release the club. I don't know why. Oh. No. This one doesn't work. I feel that I got out of my posture. But in the previous one, I was kind of good with my posture. May. I need to kind of rotate through a little more. I mean, in terms of compression, I have an insane compression, but okay, maybe this is that. It's just stitching. You know, I think I'm arriving the club face. It is so close that I kind of need to do some weird stuff during impact. But if I just kind of rotate with the whole body, because until now, since I wasn't creating enough flag, if I rotated with the whole body, I was kind of casting the club here. Since I'm building enough flag, then I kind of, and getting the club flag strong enough, I might be able to kind of rotate through here. maybe I just need to kind of hold it off. I don't know. Basically, I'm testing stuff at that point. Wow. I don't want to fuck up the session here. Yeah, because what I do when I let it come down here, this is really just about exploding up. First fast. Please give me the club speed. No, no club speed. Club feels first fast. Completely missed the ball, but okay. Let's try it again. Okay, I'm able. So when I do things correctly, here I rotate and really let the club drop here, and then explode, kind of explode up. I'm able to kind of, that's difficult to be precise, but maybe this is just because I'm kind of not used to it. But I get a decent speed. So let's try to do a backswing a little faster here. Okay, 140, let's go. That's a decent one. Clearly decent one. Okay, I kind of like it. I kind of like the motion. And as I said, that's not really string, but yeah, if I can generate more and more, as I said, the goal is kind of max, having an easy max at 115 would be nice. I'm not asking for more. The goal, as I said, for the session is having a minimum average above 111. As long as I'm there, I'm fine. I'm not asking for more. We'll progressively get faster and faster throughout the year. So, no need to worry about it. Yeah, slowly but surely. This one was slower, but I started getting a feeling of how I can get the club back. And I really need to kind of focus on the lower body a little here. Yeah, it's so funny because as soon as I stop focusing on it, so this is really the air building and releasing lag, slowly building the lag and kind of repeat through impact. Yeah, much more like that. That's kind of difficult to sync. That's the only thing, but other than that, yeah, once I'm able to get it, and maybe that's the issue here, because I'm using my upper body to repeat instead of my lower body. Well, so if I reach here and then use the lower body to kind of repeat, I'm probably going to be able to maintain the level of speed while increasing the consistency. Just need to really wait to have loaded everything and then repeat with the lower body. Yeah, well, wasn't it? Issue is really like somewhat, how I say that, rhythm dependent. So that's kind of the issue. But okay, so far so good. We still are like 111.6 average. So we still have the average way above. Okay. Now I guess I recover from the heavy deadlift. That's a lot of good balls. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Almost too good. Not necessarily too good, but I'm thinking that at the moment I feel good with what I felt. Yeah, I don't know. Just that I'm weighing the pro and cons between. Okay, I need to recover for the next cycle, but things are moving great. But also, I mean, if I understood what I understood, I don't need to eat 105 balls. I know what I need to do. But also on the other side, I need to kind of build up my endurance for the next cycle. But maybe this is not the most important. Is that actually I build my I actually recover, reduce fatigue, and then we will see on building the volume back up at the next cycle. I don't know. It's just a lot of things that are going through my mind at the moment. Yeah, it's really that. If I don't wait long enough, I'm not able to kind of repeat through. Well, if I just chill a little. Okay, this one was kind of a weird one. Let's wait. No, I realize. So I'm way, then I drop and. Okay, yeah, this is really that. So, with then I start the downswing and kind of drop the club without having the lower body moving forward, and then I repeat through. Yeah, this one was really shitty. But I got a 14.9 just before. So I'm touching on something here. Also, since I have seen that on cameras, it doesn't look that bad. Yeah. It's really about that. It's really a question of timing. You want to think everything and figure out the right motion, but things are moving so fast. Yeah, so that's the first for me, because usually I'm very aware of what I'm doing in my swing. I mean, I'm only 40. Yeah, that's also that. See, the more complex the motion, the more you need time to kind of get used to it and to be able to push speed. And so it's probably going to be that. I mean, what I'm feeling is my body is recovered, but my mind is not. My mind is tired. So anyway. Yeah, I let the backswing fly a little too much to my taste. That was a nice ball anyway. Let's try to stop focusing too much on speed, focusing on doing the right sequence first. But okay, you know what? I'm not going to make it to the end. So let's start taking the speed stick now instead of later. Try to kind of feel. Yeah. And yes, so and then kind of this. Yes, there's a lot of timing going on here, but I start feeling the synergy that I was talking about between my driver and my speed stick. Kind of have the same overall swing here. I'm able to kind of feel the speed, and it's a lot more timing dependent, finding the right spot and so on. So that's something is not about technique, it's about finding the right rhythm, and that I have no difference, mechanical difference between that and that. So that's also something I'm really happy about. Yeah. Be more patient. That's only vertical. And also with the leg, yeah, pushing not that way, but more kind of that way, like this. So I have to, because if I just push here, I'm going to do that, and I really need to push hard with the left leg to get my left hip hard all the way. And I'm not pushing completely here, but I'm kind of pushing at 40. Once I'm set here, I'm kind of pushing behind that way at 45 degrees. So I just need to get my left hip past that 45 degrees. See, because if I push at 45 degrees, but my left hip doesn't get behind 45 degrees, my hip rotation are less than 45 degrees, then I'm just pushing in the same direction of my hip. So that's only going to do hip bump. But if I want my hip to rotate, my left hip the hip rotation needs to be further than 45 degrees. So then the push of the right leg is actually accentuated the hip rotation. That's kind of also what I'm start thinking here. But that's not it's kind of the detail of what I'm loaded here to kind of drive with the lower body instead of the upper body. Right, I mean that's a win for me. That's a win. I think I don't need to get myself more tired than that. Because I don't know. When we are going to work on speed, there is this idea of speed resilience, and yeah, and I believe that's a lot of skill. Speed is a lot of skills, and I need a lot of reps in. So yeah, I mean, as I said, the goal is not to get tired. Here is just to consolidate, find the right motion with which I'm going to do the rest of the year, so I'm fine. Oh, yes, I completely forgot this. So I get a little boost each time I use the speed stick. So yeah, going to probably it's going to be easy to get over 111. To 113 consecutive. Interesting. I already start feeling that I'm going down a little. Yeah, I focus more on accuracy on this one. Actually, no, I tried to power it a little, but then I went out of sequence. As I said, we are not. What I mean is, here you see that I'm way above my target of 111, way above. That's okay. It's like, okay, I've put more energy into it, and as long as I meet my requirement, that's almost. Because, yeah, maybe that's almost too much. I don't know. Yeah, since the periodization aspect with speed is really special here. So for me, since I got it. Now I got it. Because the way I need to think about, and we need to, because the program is based on periodization, and so the more it's difficult, the more overload you will put on your system to actually get it done. Here, it seems that, okay, the target of 111 with the new paradigm of techniques that I have is easy. So probably it's like, okay, I'm doing a mesocycle that is actually too easy. So that's not good to promote progress, but definitively good to promote recovery. And since at the moment the goal is more recovery, I think I don't need to revise my the the number for this mesocycle. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, because as we progress, it's going to get much and much harder for me to meet my requirement of speed, and so I'm going to have to put progressively more and more effort into each session to actually get it done. And having it here being easy is good, since I want to reduce fatigue, because the overload is going to come from, okay, for instance, if today that was kind of 114 the goal, here I will have to put a lot of effort into each swing, a lot of intent into each swing to be able to make sure that I'm getting all of my shot above 114 to get the average for the session above 114. But here, you know, you know what I mean. So anyway, probably I'm now kind of rested here. I'm going to be slower probably. Yeah, definitely slower. The only thing that I don't really like here is I don't get a lot of side motion. It's kind of, maybe it's at the beginning I need to kind of shift a little more here. Okay, maybe. I don't get it. $113, okay, I need to not fuck things up. So I'm going to eat 20 balls here and call it a day. But yeah, I need to be careful here. That's slow. Okay, that's not slow. Difficult to feel something here. That's not slow. You see, I'm so not used to that motion that it's even difficult for me to be aware of, okay, I'm generating speed, I'm not generating speed. I want to try something here, just to see. Let's try to sit behind a little spring impact. Okay, but that's not bad. Not that bad. Okay, on this one I kind of try to just, once I'm set, instead of just throwing with the arm and so on, try to activate the lower body aggressively through impact. Okay, interesting. 114. So wide, jump into the lag position. Okay, let's try that. Term of timing. No. That's okay, but the feeling wasn't there. Yes, definitely that. So I get wide and get the feeling that okay, the backswing is only wide. Then I drop into the transition and build lag before whipping it through. And that give a nice 114.5. So yeah, but here I kind of blend the build lag and the rip through together, which make it something weird. There is really 3 time. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Much better, this one. I should not wait too long. So I'm like, okay, get wide into the half backswing, then jump and build the lag, and then rip it through. If I wait too long, then the club is much harder to come back. Okay, got the 114. Also, I just thought about it, is here, see, during last week I was kind of doing, I started the week with the training in the gym, and then I move on to actually come back here and do the practice. And so I was tired of the session of the day before when I come back here, so of course the speed is going to be affected by the fatigue. Where here, I had a rest day yesterday. Sunday was actually a golf session, so not a hard working session in the gym. So it's been more than 2 days since I went to the gym and do some heavy stuff. Of course, it was very heavy, very tiring what we have done, but yet. And that's generally speaking what it seems to be the case. Is that something I knew? That to be able to be your fastest, you kind of let 2 full day of recovery in between to really be able to get to your best level. Of course, there's a lot of things I need to kind of figure out, to be accurate and so on, but I will get there. We'll get there eventually. Now, I'm kind of blending the transition into the downswing here. And 3, 1, 2, and 3. One, 2, and 3. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. When I get it right, generate some decent spin. I also kind of I have the bad habit of kind of gripping my club only with my 3 finger and kind of almost getting my pinky outside of the club. That's not a very efficient way to hold the club. It's just a bad habit that I have. 1, 2, 3. Now. Oh, there is someone that is actually taking board and coming here at this time. Okay. Okay, people. What the fuck are they doing? I mean, I'm saying that, but I'm doing the same thing. Bonjour. Ah bah c'est toi. Ouais, je vois ça. Tranquille, tranquille. Une bonne session aujourd'hui, alors je peux que être content.
Je te présente Laura, Laura. Laura qui a commencé le golf il y a moins de 2 mois.
D'accord.
Et
du coup, tu fais des sessions à 20h.
Ouais.
Non, mais qui est piquée comme tout.
Ah d'accord.
Et voilà. L'objectif c'est qu'elle soit en équipe femme l'année prochaine ou dans 2 ans.
Nice.
Voilà. Et donc Thomas, lui, son projet c'est de partir sur un circuit
aux US.
Ok.
Voilà.
Donc il fait sa petite chaîne YouTube. Lui, il est très branché, taper assez fort. Enfin,
Bon, cette année, c'est l'objectif,
Ouais.
c'est de gagner en vitesse. L'année prochaine, on fera les compètes.
et après le truc c'est que son seul handicap c'est qu'il est très petit.
Ah oui, mais du coup, si
Mais
tu...
il fait du sport pour. Et son projet il me plaît. Après moi je peux pas enseigner à un mec comme lui parce que moi je suis très sénateur, tu vois.
Tranquille.
Mais on a des bons
Et
échanges.
j'aimerais bien voir ça.
Et bah regarde.
Ouais.
Je vais allumer le grill.
Ah, on met la pression là.
Bah non.
mais arrête.
Non, mais je rigole.
Tu fais comme d'hab.
Ah oui. Ah oui. Ah oui, oui, oui. Ok.
Et du coup, là, j'ai le trackman qui me donne les infos sur le PC et tout ça.
Ah oui. Ah ouais, putain. Tu peux filmer en même temps ou pas?
En
Ah, ouais.
il a juste la meilleure technologie
Attends.
de radar. Donc il a
Ouais,
le
je vois.
trackman.
Ouais, je vois.
Quand je vais t'emmener à Angers, il y aura ça.
Ok.
Voilà. Et donc en fait ça te permet d'avoir une
Toutes les données
trentaine, quarantaine de données à l'impact.
Oh oui, oui,
Ouais.
bah, ça donne
Au
tout
moins,
ce que
et
tu as
en
envie de
fait,
savoir.
Mais ça vaut
Ça vaut cher.
Ouais.
Ça vaut
Oui,
très,
oui,
très,
oui,
très cher.
oui.
Et donc là quand tu viens, voilà. Tu vois en fait le radar il prend la face, le chemin
Ouais.
et en fait tu vois la trajectoire de sa balle.
Ok.
Donc là après ta club speed il est à 114 miles par heure. Donc ça fait 180.
Ouais, après,
Voilà.
tu sais, en golf, en fait, ils parlent tous de miles per hour.
Ouais, de
mais
En
pour
fait,
Ouais.
les
c'est
pros,
plus le ball speed qui compte. Le spin, il n'y a pas beaucoup. Donc
Mais là,
le
tu
spin,
parles
c'est la...
chinois.
Ouais, non, mais c'est la rotation. En
Ok.
fait, il faut que ce soit... mais moi, ce que je kiffe, c'est ça. Angle d'attaque, il la prend en montant.
En fait, ça, c'est
Là,
la,
il a
vitesse,
pas bien
ça, c'est
sorti.
la vitesse du club, ça, c'est la vitesse de la balle.
Voilà.
Ouais.
Ça, c'est la différence, c'est le ratio entre les deux.
Ok.
En général, les
L'efficience,
pros,
en fait,
les
du
pros, ils
contact.
sont à 1,5, donc je suis
Ok.
pas très très loin.
Mhm.
Le spin, en général, ça, c'est donc la rotation arrière de la balle. Et
Ok.
au driver, on cherche aux alentours de 2002, 2004,
Mhm.
un truc comme ça.
L'angle
Et
d'attaque,
après, l'angle d'attaque,
il
c'est
peut être
comment tu
positif.
arrives sur la balle.
c'est soit tu le prends en descendant, soit tu prends en remontant.
Ok.
Et
Et
qu'au
donc là,
driver, c'est
3-3.
normal.
Donc,
Vu qu'il
tu
est sur un
prends en
tee, c'est
remontant.
normal qu'on tape en
Oui.
remontant.
Ouais.
Et voilà, après, si tu veux, il y a tout un tas de
Club pass, c'est
détails.
le chemin de club. Donc, chemin de club, en fait, il a un chemin de club qui va, par rapport à la cible, il va 2,5 à droite. Donc,
Ok.
il n'est pas en train de couper,
Ok.
mais plutôt de faire à l'inverse. Mais je pense qu'il a soit une. Tu vois, la face, elle est bien, mais c'est un contact talon.
Ouais, probablement,
C'est
ouais,
ça, c'est ça.
elle n'était pas, elle était pas
C'est-à-dire
bien
qu'en
centrée.
fait, la face de club, elle est à 1,5 à droite. Le chemin de club, il est à 2,5 à droite. Donc,
Et normalement,
il
quand
est
il y a
censé-
assez de lumière, normalement, il me
Ouais,
donne
et
un
là,
petit
il a pris
point.
la balle, il l'a prise ici, en fait.
Ok,
Quand
donc
talon.
là, il l'a pas dit en fait. Là, il...
Non,
Ouais,
parce
parce
que
qu'il y a pas
là,
assez de
il n'y a
lumière.
pas assez de lumière. C'est
Mais,
lumière
mais en
artificielle.
fait, quand tu les prends, tu vois, un peu dans la pointe, la balle, elle a tendance à tourner vers la gauche.
Ouais.
Et quand tu les prends un peu dans le talon, elle a tendance à tourner vers la droite.
Mais c'est un super outil, ça. Bah, ça j'avais ça à Nancy, tu vois. Mais ça, c'est un bijou pour enseigner.
Bah ouais, mais oui. Oui, je vois, ouais.
Est-ce qu'on peut faire un peu d'approche? Tu fais ton truc et je sais pas, dans 10 minutes, elle vient tape
Ouais,
2-3
non, mais
balles.
de toute façon, j'ai quasiment fini, j'avais pris ça en plus, mais j'ai tapé.
Non, mais c'est juste qu'elle tape 2-3 balles, qu'on voit sa vitesse,
Ouais,
son
pas de
chemin
souci.
de club. Non, mais
non,
Non, mais peu importe
je
le.
vais pas t'embêter, hein.
Non, mais moi j'ai quasiment fini.
T'inquiète.
J'ai déjà
Moi,
j'ai
Thomas,
quasiment
c'est
tapé
lui
plus
qui
de
m'a
100 balles, là.
accueilli au Mans. Quand je suis arrivé au Mans, mon patron, il m'a loué un Airbnb chez lui.
Ok.
Et voilà, et c'est un mec qui est en or. C'est un mec qui a une conception du golf qui est la sienne. Qui est pas du tout... Non,
C'est la mienne.
non, mais après,
Non, mais je rigole.
c'est pas du tout méchant.
Non, mais
Thomas
t'inquiète, je le
Gauthier,
sais. Hein.
qui est pas du tout conventionnel. C'est un projet qui est très particulier. C'est aller aux États-Unis. Et aux États-Unis, en fait, il faut taper fort.
Ouais,
faut taper
c'est moi. En France, tu vois, il y a pas mal de parcours qui sont assez
C'est-à-dire que là,
serrés, tout ça.
sa vitesse de
Ouais,
club,
précis.
large.
Faut être précis. Alors que
tu vois, sa
t'as quoi, là
vitesse de club
Ouais,
là, à
ouais.
113.
Égal aux
,8, c'est une
Ouais.
vitesse faible. Alors que
C'est-
quand tu vas le taper,
C'est le moins.
wow, tu
Là,
dis,
je suis dans la moyenne du PGA Tour
moyenne
basse.
faible.
Ouais,
Moyenne faible
juste
des
un peu en
meilleurs
dessous.
joueurs américains, pas du circuit américain.
Les
vas-y,
sur le circuit
porte
américain,
ta
ils sont
colline, Thomas.
60. Ils sont aux alentours de 116, 117
Bien,
en moyenne.
Là, t'as moins de. Et il a ce coup. Et il taperait dans les moins forts aux États-Unis.
Mais c'est plus une question de timing, ça. Après, si vraiment je vais
Rory
m'éclater.
McIlroy de.
Si vraiment je
C'est
vais-
ça, j'aimerais bien voir.
Rory McIlroy de Saint-Gilles. Full black, Nike.
Là, je m'attendais pas à la faire aussi vite, celle-là. 118.
Et si moi je tape, moi en tant que vieux, avec son club de.
118, tu vois, là, c'est.
Non, je peux pas avec.
Voilà, tu vas te casser le
non,
dos.
mais j'ai pas le mien en fait.
Pourquoi?
Mais
Bah, il
parce
est très
que
très rigide.
il
Ah
est
ouais
rigide et puis moi je suis plus vieux que lui. T'as quel âge?
Il y a vraiment un
J'ai
impact?
34.
34, j'ai 42.
Il y a un impact?
Ah bah oui. C'est-à-dire que là en fait, là son manche c'est un.
Ouais.
C'est un
Bah,
bout
c'est
de
le
ferraille.
même
C'est
Moi,
le même que Rory McIlroy, le chat.
Ouais, c'est il tape le même.
Parce que quand je vois les joueurs, le...
Oui, le manche il se
Il se-
déforme.
D'ailleurs-
Et là tu,
Complètement, ouais.
tu me filmes, là le manche je le déforme pas. J'ai
D'ailleurs-
pas le physique pour.
Toi, tu le...
D'ailleurs,
toi,
c'est
tu
oui,
le
mais
sens.
c'est un
t'as
tout
vu,
petit
il
peu,
est-
mais.
Laura,
Mais
il est plus. Même s'il est plus petit, il est plus tanké
Oui,
que moi.
oui, oui.
Donc moi en fait, là il est à 118 de vitesse. Donc moi ma vitesse de croisière c'est plutôt une 106, 105.
Ouais.
Tu vois. Donc on n'est pas sur la même rigidité de shaft. Et là son shaft en fait il va pas me permettre de restituer un maximum de vitesse. C'est-à-dire que là en fait pour
D'ailleurs,
faire une bonne balle il faut que je m'arrache.
pour être honnête, ce shaft-là, il est presque trop rigide pour moi à l'heure actuelle. En fait, il est bien pour le moi que je veux devenir.
Ok.
Oui,
C'est
Ok,
pour ça que
je
je l'ai
vois.
acheté. Moi, je suis toujours cette philosophie. C'est
Mais,
t'achètes les clubs pour le joueur que tu veux devenir, pas pour le joueur que tu as envie, que
Ah,
t'es
c'est-
à l'heure actuelle.
c'est pas le. Putain, c'est con parce que si c'était le même système, tu aurais pu me demander des.
Entraînement difficile, guerre facile, quoi.
Ouais, les militaires. Et moi je suis à 100. Tu vois,
non,
il fait
mais
118.
là, tu l'as swingé. S'il te plaît, swing là sérieusement.
Non, mais
Là,
Il est trop raide, ton
juste que t'es froid et que t'es bourré.
il est trop raide.
Bourré, il est pas bourré, enfin.
Attends, là, il a eu au moins,
Attends, j'ai
il a
pris
eu au
le
moins
temps.
5 ou 6 bières dans la tronche. Là.
Ouais, pas mal. Bah non, 2.
J'ai
Mais
pris
des
le temps
grandes.
de te filmer.
Bon voilà, là, on est chaud.
Ah, 107.
Je pense que quand t'es chaud sur le parcours, c'est ce que tu fais.
Non,
là.
mais il faudrait que j'ai le mien. Mais ouais, je suis à 107, 109.
Ouais, voilà.
Tu
Non.
vois, 103, 7.
Ouais, non.
Elle est pas ouf, mais c'est trop raide pour moi. Non, mais c'est trop raide. Après, je suis trop vieux.
Tiens, je vais.
J'accepte ça.
Tu veux que j'essaie d'en faire une à 120?
Allez.
120, attends. Filme.
Non, mais là, je fais
Ah,
là, je t'explique. Là, on prend la technique, on la met à la poubelle
Ouais.
Ouais.
et,
Ok, je
Tiens, fort.
et tu fais ce que tu peux pour la.
Donc, en fait, ce que tu fais, c'est que tu le filmes. Après, tu viens là, contre l'écran, et tu regardes là.
Ok, je fais
Et-
ça.
Ouais, 120.9. Je l'ai encore dans le coude celui-là.
Et moi, si je m'arrache. Attends, ah oui, parce que. Ouais, t'as bougé le truc, hein. Attention,
Non, ça
Laurent.
Ah, j'ai bougé, ouais. Merde.
Oui, bah, tu mets des coups de pied dans les trucs à.
Pardon.
Ça vaut un demi-appartement, ça.
Ça dépend où.
Ça vaut 25 000
au moins,
euros,
ça
ça.
vaut ouais.
Non, mais il l'a pas payé ce prix-là. Il l'a eu d'occasion. Comme ça, on vient pas te braquer chez toi.
Non, mais.
Alors, moi, si je veux gagner en vitesse, je vais faire quoi? Je vais me grandir à mort.
Moi, en général, déjà, je prends un grip plus
Je
fort
fais ça.
aussi.
Non, mais surtout, je vais sauter en fait. Je vais faire du kyle.
Voilà, c'est ça.
Tu vois le pied qui bouge. Mais c'est mal
T'as pas
coordonné.
bougé.
C'est trop rapide. Là, 104.
Moi, si je le fais,
Non.
ça fait quoi?
Non, mais je me suis arraché pour faire
Non, parce que le
104.
problème, c'est qu'aussi, il y a.
Si tu le fais pas
swing,
bien,
le swing de golf, il y a beaucoup d'éléments de séquence. Et donc, si tu mets
C'est
plus
de la
d'énergie, mais que tu
coordination.
la mets dans le mauvais ordre.
Il y a 3 séquences, non?
tu démarres, c'est
Ouais, non,
le
mais c'est
corps.
surtout que tu vois, il y a un enchaînement de mouvements. Et si tu forces dans le mauvais sens, bah, du
C'est
coup,
pas bon.
Bah,
tu n'es pas capable de transférer l'énergie au club.
notamment celui-là. Tu vois, faire ça trop tôt.
Oui. Il faut le faire là, voilà.
En fait,
Il faut qu'on entende le son.
il faut être
En
plus
bas.
dans ça.
En fait, tu vas d'abord chercher le sol, tu appuies sur le sol et tu transfères l'énergie jusqu'au club.
Tu
Ouais.
sautes.
Ouais, mais... J'ai 2 mois de golf.
Non, mais.
Ah non, j'y suis pas. 89, non?
Je crois qu'il a pas pris. Il a pas pris.
Non, mais ça, c'est une sacrée machine.
Bah oui, j'imagine.
Bon, nous, on a
Ouais.
approche.
Ouais, approche.
Elle est 124. 117.
Non, non.
Ouais?
Non, 111, là, la
Ah,
séquence
111.
était. Là, le club, il est resté derrière, j'ai fait clang. Mais à la limite, si vous voulez taper, tapez maintenant là avec elle.
Non,
Moi,
mais-
moi, j'ai fini. Hein.
Non mais vas-y, on fera une autre fois. Tu veux? Bah vas-y,
Quoi?
on faire ça.
So I got distracted by my friend and coach of the golf course, to be exact. And so so he kind of challenged me a little on speed. So with normal swings that I was working on when I went all out and managed to go 118. So that's what probably I went a little long on the backswing. So that's probably something. It's not a very legit 118, but. And then I kind of went all out and taking the technique and throwing out of the window and so on. And I managed to 120.9 miles per hour. But I was on the way out anyway, almost finished the session, and I kind of had the main point of consolidation that I wanted to work on validated. I think I really get it now. It's wide, create a lot of torque on the way back, then kind of moving down to build that lag massively, and then kind of repeat through by exploding up. Kind of the few things here, but there is probably a lot of nuances that I need to work on to get closer to a wrist swing, because I think I'm not putting a lot of rotation, because if I use kind of my hand to rip it through, it's kind of very difficult to time. And so what I would want is be able to rip it through using more my lower body for accuracy purposes, even though that's not the point to be accurate at the moment. I'm not building speed just for building speed. The goal is then to be able to use that speed on the golf course. So if I can find a way to build that speed up while staying consistent, that's something very important. But yeah, also I kind of, since they distracted me, I forgot to actually take a record from face on, because the camera, as you saw, it was kind of 45 degree toward me, and so I didn't have a pure face-on view of my swing, and so I think I'm not going to be able to do that swing comparison with Rory. Anyway, that's not that big of an issue, but I'm really happy about just I don't know really how that look on camera, but the key thing that I felt is when I'm creating that twist and that torque, I kind of already start to get the club as flat as possible at the top. And maybe when I do that, I might want to also get the feeling of getting my club face as open as I possibly can when I do so. And then when I come back down, then building and closing the club face. Because maybe that's also that is since my club face was maybe too close, those weird feelings that I had through impact might be because the club face is too close compared to the club path. I don't know, that's something I need to investigate, but clearly I'm building that. I'm able to build way more lag and kind of find a way to make it to work in terms of raw speed for the session, but also a way that feel really good also with the speed stick. And that's the most important, because as we are going to start working on speed throughout the year with the speed stick, I really want, as I told you, this synergy between my driver and the speed stick. And so here during this session, I kind of felt it. Kind of felt that, okay, there is a synergy, because until now, when I was working with the speed stick, I kind of find some technical clue to generating more speed, but that wasn't really timing based, let's say. Where here it's almost like, okay, I have only my technique, but I need to find the right timing to generate the most amount of speed. And then by actually working on speed with different speed stick and so on, I will get better at finding that sweet spot to generating the maximum amount of speed. And so that's not technique, that's actually time, rhythm and tempo based. So that's interesting. I don't really like having a swing that is highly tempo sensitive, but I mean, if that's the only way for me to actually be able to reach high level of speed while and stay and with a normal swing, I don't know. Just as things that I'm kind of thinking about at the moment. Anyway, good session. Tomorrow we're going to the gym. Probably going to do it in the evening as well. And I think, the goal here is just to reduce fatigue. So I'm not going to push it too hard. So that's heavy squat and it's heavy squat and deadlift, I believe. So we are going to do that, and probably chest and shoulder, since in terms of hypertrophy, that's kind of the only thing I really want to work on. So I'm going to work on that maybe. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for the gym session.